Hey everybody, Matt Michaels here on the Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting, and I'm joined by Sin City Steve and Simon Street, and today we have the hottest group in Las Vegas professional wrestling today, the Faction, Lights Camera Faction. We got Watson, we got Fresco, we got Action Braxton, and we got...
Yeah.
All right. Call you back.
Okay. One, two.
Are we ready now? Are we going now?
Yeah.
We're good? We're
I
ready?
think we was about to start.
Are we starting live already?
That's wild.
We doing this?
That was a pretty horrible intro.
What did,
That was not a good intro at all.
What did they say?
They were talking. He didn't
What did
say
they
nothing. He was just saying. You know
You
what?
didn't say anything that anybody didn't know already.
Well, then tell me, guys, how would you guys do the intro?
You got this.
I don't know, the most prolific group in the history of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
The greatest faction in Las Vegas history.
Yeah.
The greatest movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Fresco Matic, he is Watson. Action Braxton, Ice Williams. The greatest movie you've ever seen. Lights Camera Faction.
There it is.
Boys.
That's how it's done.
Obviously.
That's how it's done. And it can be in different tones.
That's what you should have
high,
said.
low, either way. But
Didn't
we
we
need the
have-
proper respect when that happens.
Didn't we have Agent Guy give him the sheet?
I saw it.
You guys
happen.
didn't get
he
the
handed
sheet?
him the sheet.
I thought you guys were supposed to
handed
get
him the sheet.
a sheet of some sorts.
He handed him a sheet.
Hey, where's Cool Boy at?
Look, man, I told you, man.
I used to be here. I see. Yeah, see.
Oh, here he goes.
All right, there we go.
12 was everywhere. What's poppin'? Like 12
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Good to see you. Good to see
We
you.
got the cameras rolling. We got the cameras popping.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so we
Of
got
course.
the podcast going. And now the show can begin.
There it is.
Because the boys is fully here. Let's get it popping.
Voltron.
I was waiting for you.
12 all over
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah. All over,
yeah.
man.
All over
Let's start on the line.
Oh, watch out for Northtown, too.
They're
Watch out for
All over the
Northtown.
place.
Looking for somebody.
Yeah, for
What's
sure.
happening? So we got the podcast popping. What's good, Vegas Bad Boys? Y'all requested this time.
Clash of
What's
Times.
happening?
What's up?
What's good?
Listen. The reason we wanted to request this time is because Survival of the Fittest is the August 21st, this Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And
This
I know
Sunday.
you guys have a lot to say because there's going to be some shit going down.
Whoa, calm down, calm down.
Yeah,
First
come on,
off, if you're gonna let the folks know that the faction is gonna be on Survival of the Fittest, first things first, please let the people know that we will be in the main event because of course, when Ice Williams is in the building, he's only wrestling in the main event always. And if the faction's in the building with Ice Williams, we're in the main event as always.
Facts.
Come on.
Period.
Come on.
Simple like that. It's easy.
Main event.
Easy bread.
Once again, putting the company on our Bizac. Making sure everyone knows that the faction is the backbone of future stars of wrestling.
You make a good point.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view, another one.
Another
Pay-per-view main event.
Another faction pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
It's gonna be another faction pay-per-view, another main event that we taking over, another main event that we running.
I mean, who else could you actually even guys? Is there anybody else that they could put in the main
Who
event?
put in that spot?
I wonder who's in that third spot.
I'm not sure.
Who's in that fourth spot?
I'm not sure.
Come on.
I'm not sure.
Look at the shirt.
I'm
Look at the
just-
shirt.
Especially when it comes to the main event, I'm sure
I'm just
for this
asking.
question. Main events, championships,
I'm just
the
asking.
guy, the question's right here. If not Ice, then who? Y'all saw it firsthand. June 19th.
Yep.
Well, speaking of, and I don't want to be a killjoy here,
Goodness gracious.
But,
what you about to say?
what are
you about to say?
action
You better say something Joe DeFalco told you to say, huh?
I'm just saying.
That's something Joe told you to say, huh?
Action Braxton walked out with the cash in the cake.
Braxton the case!
Braxton
the case!
Braxton the case. Braxton the case. Braxton the case. Braxton the case.
I did that.
Case.
I did that. I beat everybody's favorite wrestlers to do it too. I beat Cutthroat Cody.
Yeah.
I beat J Cafe.
Yeah.
I beat Funny Bone.
Oh.
The participation trophies of this company.
Woo!
I beat Crybaby Damian Drake.
Wait, Saved by the Bell. Is he 80s?
Back from the future.
Back from the future.
Something.
Skins? Saved by the Skins in the future, Damian Drake?
I beat Lazarus. He was there too.
Yeah.
And I also beat
Hardcore Laz.
Faction Reject, Songbird, Ricky Tenacious.
Oh. Deep cut. That's a deep cut.
Everybody's favorite wrestlers. I beat all of them.
All of them.
In one night.
In one match.
And did what I told you all I was going to do in the first place and became Mr. Brax in the case.
Facts.
Which in fact means that
Tell them what it means.
I don't have to prove a damn thing to anybody. And I have nobody else left to beat. I don't have to beat anybody until a certain time in a certain place when I choose to cash this in.
Anytime, any place.
I have the fate.
Watch for y'all. That's crazy.
Come on, look at the drip on his watch. Look at the watch drip he's got on there.
Cash in the case. That cash came from out the case, and now it's on his wrist.
And Omega Watch, these aren't cheap, by the way.
Yeah. Come on.
Big bank, take love.
And I have the fate of every single champion in FSW right here in the palm of my hands.
While you had these two guys,
Yeah.
the most proficient tag team on the scene today.
That's correct.
That same night you're talking about,
Yes.
win their tag team championship match.
Win.
When they
TBD.
beat TBD
A
in
sanctioned
that
victory.
match.
Look at it.
Sanctioned
Look at the
victory.
What does it say on the record, on the results?
What does it say?
Sanctioned
What is-
victory.
what, don't
Okay, don't
Over
get
the
Watson
tag team
upset.
champions.
I'm not gonna say
Don't
you
don't
didn't
piss
win.
Watson
Don't
off.
piss Watson off.
I've seen it.
What was the results
That's
of
a big step, and don't piss Watson off.
TBD versus Lights Camera Faction? Just so we can make sure that you guys know.
They lost to you guys.
Okay, all right,
Yes.
all right. Just making sure.
But the gold is not around your waists. What happened?
Yeah.
More FSW higher up politics, but go ahead first.
Come on. You know how it goes. We've been doing this for a long time now. LCF, we've been after those tag team championships, and we were the closest we ever been because we beat TBD. But of course,
TBD
they found a way.
have never actually beaten the combination of you two, right?
They never have.
They have not.
They have not.
They've never beaten the
Not a
combination
lot
of you
of
two.
people who have beaten the combination
No.
of these two right here.
No.
Come on now. We've only lost to one team throughout this entire run of FSW. And the thing is, we avenged that in the negative zone. So the thing about it,
That's true.
we are the
Low-key
uncrowned.
undefeated out here.
Uncrowned tag team champions. The tag team division needs this to happen.
Yes.
Let me explain something to you guys too, because you mentioned how obviously we don't have the belts, we don't have the physical manifestation of the belts, and that just I feel like it needs to be said. It's been said probably already, but I need you guys to understand too that we actually are the champions of this company. Because when we walk through that curtain, it is the loudest moment of the night every single show.
Noise.
So these two are the champions of this company. Yep. I am a champion of this company. He is the champion whether he has a belt on him or not.
I don't need a championship title on me for me to be the champ because everybody is gunning for the main event. Everybody is gunning for the main event. Everybody's gunning for ice. Everybody want a shot at the top. And if you want a shot at the top, who you going to target? You going to come after the boys. That's what you going to do.
Yep. Matt Michaels, what is the name of this company?
It is the Future Stars of Wrestling.
Okay. Right.
Future.
Correct.
Beautiful name.
So I have a worldwide fan base of 10,000 people across the world.
Facts.
And if you combine the four of our fan bases across the world, that's a pretty significant number. And I believe that means that we generate the most eyes to FSW, as in the most human beings on this planet have watched FSW because of the four people at this table right now. And nobody else can even come close unless their names are Hammerstone or Chris Bay.
Come on.
Questions? What's good?
752.
What do we have? What do you guys got? What do you guys have questions? You guys
I
have?
don't think they
I
do.
actually got a question. I got a question.
What is your question?
Mr. Screed.
Alright.
Simon Screed. He from the street.
Mr. Simon.
Or is he for the streets? Let's find out.
Real talk, all right? Before I address y'all fine gentlemen, I see why you put me in the middle of this right now. You over here pissing off Watson, man. He coming backhand me, man. I'm going to scoot back. You going to get the full slap. That's a whole nother story.
Best burn the game.
But real quick, your plan sounds locked. You got all the chips in place, right?
Whoop.
But let us know, what is the game plan if anybody trying to violate on your predestined pathway to the manifestation of your title reign? And I said title reign because you already said it's you, right? You already got titles as far as you're telling us.
Already the
So
champs.
what is the game plan? What is the game plan? What are you gonna do if anybody trying to violate on your plan?
Well, Just correct me if I'm wrong. We kicked Sefa Fatu out of Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, he's out of here.
I beat him. The foot of El Pia de la Mesa.
He hasn't.
I pinned him. He gone.
I don't think
Ain't been back since.
He's never gonna come back to Las Vegas, and that's because of Lights Camera Faction. Chris Bay narrowly escaped that same fate, but Chris Bay is never gonna mess with us ever again.
Ever again.
Yeah, he's pulled up plenty of times.
Okay.
And the only person that hasn't gotten it yet, the only person that doesn't get it yet, is Hammerstone and TBD.
Yeah.
Those are the only people that don't get
They're
it.
literally blocking the faction.
I understand. I got chill. It's okay. It's okay. It's good. It's good. It's good. You should be the champ. 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 It's okay. It's all good. It's all right. It's good. Anybody that steps in the way of Lights Camera Faction's plan of achieving everything that this business has to offer, they're going to be written out of the script of wrestling. Because the pen is in our hands. The pen's always been in our hands. We write the script of wrestling.
How you think we got here?
We have rewritten the script of wrestling.
Nobody wanted us here.
Nobody
They
wanted
want
us here.
They didn't want us here in this position. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to say it. You know why I'm not the champ? It doesn't make any sense. This is the reason why I'm not the champ. The higher ups. There's a higher up at FSW who has it against the faction. I guess I gotta expose the business.
That's true.
I gotta expose the business. I asked everybody the day before the match. I'm just doing a little poll, walking up to folks. Who you think gonna win this match? Hammerstone or Ice? Who you think gonna win this match? I hear folks. I think Ice gonna win. I think Hammer gonna win. I think Ice gonna win. I think Hammer gonna win. I go up to the owner of the company. I go, who you think gonna win this match? Because things get interesting right here. I go, who you think gonna win this match? He goes, oh, of course Hammerstone's gonna win the match. Ice only has 1,200 followers.
Y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that?
Wait,
You know how
1,200
gross that
followers?
is?
What does that have to do with the wrestling match that's going on in the ring later on that night? What does that have to do with Ice being the main event every time he steps foot in Las Vegas? What does that have to do with Ice being the most talented guy to step foot in the ring every single time? It does what he does every single time.
So y'all got him started.
Still the
This
show.
y'all fault.
Icebreaker to everybody.
Hey, by that same logic, I'm a 10-time FSW.
You gotta be, because I apparently Ice ain't gonna win because he only had 1,200. You got 10 plus K. You got 10 plus K.
Decorated.
This don't make any sense. And this is what it is. The higher ups of FSW, they're hiring folks. They're keeping folks around who's gonna keep the titles away from the boys. That's why
100%.
Hammerstone. That's why I call Hammerstone a pawn. You think I call Hammerstone a pawn just for his sake? No, because the higher ups of FSW are using Hammerstone. They're using Hammerstone to combat the faction. And you know what else happened? They decided to get the two favorite toys of there too. One of the two of the most protected guys, protected golden boys here. Hero, loser, yes, the excommunicated Samoan that I just beat. And then Shogun SOS, Golden Boys, yes, hired guns to keep titles away from the faction. But little do the higher ups know, the faction always wins. The faction takeover is gonna happen.
Some strong hate too, you know what I mean? Like some pretty strong hate to want us so badly to not win that you gotta stack the odds. You gotta stack the deck against Lights Camera Faction.
Literally build a front line.
A front line against the faction?
We still don't know who this fourth dude is.
We still don't know.
Still don't know. They
got a four.
They haven't even announced the
yeah,
fourth.
I have no clue.
Oh my!
I have no clue.
So would
I
y'all
don't even
say
know.
that this was purposely done?
Of course.
Because I mean,
What was Ice just talking about?
What do you mean? Is this purposely done?
Well, no, I'm just confirming.
Well, Simon.
When they get the championships, when they win the tag team championships, the higher ups are going to hire people to take the titles off of them. Just like when I win the heavyweight championship, the higher ups are going to hire people to try to take the title off of me when I have the championship. This is what's just going to happen.
This is what comes with being the best, though, and this is what I explained to the boys: is we are the best. And because of that, this is what they have to do. These are the games that they have to play. and it's fine. It's fine because they also have to resort to things like getting a podcast and hiring some podcasters to talk propaganda about Lights Camera Faction. To try and slander the reputation of the group. To try and make us seem as if we're something less than what we actually are. And you know what? I don't mean this disrespectfully, but you guys say a lot of lies about Lights Camera Faction on this show. You guys honestly should put a disclaimer on the show that says if you are Lights Camera Faction, the information on this podcast might not be true. Yeah.
Really though?
Might not be true because well, where should we start, boys? There's so many. You know, I know exactly where to start. I know exactly where to start. This group started in 2019. And if a listener of the Vegas Bad Boys podcast were to listen about the narrative, the story of Lights Camera Faction, you would think that I was a stooge that didn't do a damn thing in the ring up until this point. And let me explain something to you.
Matt,
I'm the supposed mouthpiece. I'm the supposed non-wrestler up until this. Listen, from the beginning of Lights Camera Faction up until now, I am the most competing member of the group. Do you know what that means? That means from debut day, I have been in that ring, busting my ass, blood, sweat, tears for the supremacy of this group. Win, lose, draw, every single time. The most competing member of Lights Camera Faction. That's Action Braxton. That's the power to the building.
Big Brax.
So no, I'm not a mouthpiece. I'm the founder and creator of the greatest faction in professional wrestling.
The foundation.
But doesn't that come with having the most losses then of the group?
See, what are we talking about?
You waiting for that one.
The most losses? The most losses? Let me explain something to you, Matt Michaels,
one of those days,
because I don't know if anybody has ever put insurmountable obstacles in front of you in your life. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. But every single authority in this company has tried to hold us down, has tried to put us in situations and no-win situations. And you know what? Out of the jaws of defeat, the three of us snatched victories when we could get them.
Faction up moments.
But let me tell you something. This is a dirty business, and you have to learn how to live with that. And the way we learned to live with that was by becoming the dirtiest players in the game. Woo! Something that we were able to do to the highest level when we were able to put a little dirt on the coldest wrestler on the planet, Ice Williams. We put some dirt on him.
Muddied him up a little bit.
The heel turn.
And we
Heel turn.
the greatest one, right?
The greatest heel turn.
The greatest one.
The greatest heel turn in the history of professional wrestling. Yes.
You had another thing, right? You had another place you wanted to start.
Brad.
Right?
Talk to him,
Cause I run a show myself, the Fresco Show.
Fresco Show, hottest show,
the most
platform.
professional
show,
and
by the
greatest
way.
show in Las Vegas history, of
Facts,
course.
Facts.
I just wanted to know why the comparisons for Farouk and The Rock from the Nation when it comes to the faction. Why do people like to go to that? Are we anything like the Nation, fellas?
I mean, D'Lo did train us, but
I have
I mean,
a question for you. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, he's up.
Don't piss off Watson. Oh, damn.
careful how
What
you
do
answer.
we have in common with the Nation of Domination?
We want an answer.
We want an answer.
We want an answer.
What do
We want an answer.
With the Nation of Domination.
Put him on the spot.
I would say that the obvious answer.
We know what the obvious answer is, man.
I'm sorry. Wait. What is? I mean, I don't know the obvious answer.
I still
That's
know.
what
I don't know the
What's the
obvious.
obvious one?
I don't know the obvious.
Tell him for the cameras.
What's the
You
obvious
are
answer?
4 men who are proud and very accomplished, but at the same time, the 3 of you really didn't accomplish much of anything until that man joined.
Whoa.
Just like The Rock joining the nation.
Whoa.
He out of pocket.
Wait, are you insulting Ron Simmons right now? Is that what you're doing?
Is he
what he's
insulting
doing.
D'Lo Brown?
You
at the
just-
moment
you
right
just
now?
That's
diss-
what he's trying to
Did you
do.
just
Is he
diss
insulting
D'Lo
Mark
Brown?
Henry,
Now
who
he
we
done
met at
threw-
AEW?
he done threw some smut
Did
on
you
the
just
nation's
did you
name.
just diss
Damn,
Kama
man.
Mustafa, Godfather, Papa Shango? Is
I
that
don't
what you're
understand
doing
it.
right now?
Damn.
These are guys we've all met, by the way.
This is
gonna let him know.
this is
Yeah.
crazy to me.
You know, people who has endorsed the faction throughout
Whoa.
the years. You know, 2019, 2020, 2021.
I think the only thing we might have in common with the Nation of Domination is that we're the hottest heels of our time as well. I think that might be just about it. But you know what? It brings an interesting point, because I think a guy like you would want to imagine that, because you would like to imagine Ice Williams kicking me out of Lights Camera Faction, or one of us turning on each other, because it seems to be a narrative that is pitched almost every episode of the show. And you know what? It's not just you. It's not just you. It's not just you. It's everybody in the locker room. I mean, I think I've been approached maybe 10 times about me cashing this in on you.
Oh my goodness, folks!
After you
folks,
win the
breaking
titles
news,
from
breaking
Hammerstone.
News, breaking news!
Like,
Ice Williams is
me.
gonna beat Hammerstone
and then I'm
for
gonna
the championship,
and I'm gonna
and
cash
Drax
out.
is gonna cash
I'm
in
gonna
on
cash
it.
out here.
It's the obvious thing.
Hey, listen.
It's obvious.
Listen, I
FSW.
appreciate the
I
people that
trust you, Braxton. I
I
trust you.
Well, I'm gonna get to that. I appreciate everybody that would like to imagine me, Action Braxton, the power to the building, as the FSW heavyweight champion. I graciously,
It's the 10K.
you know,
It's the 10K.
appreciate that.
It's the 10K.
But let me explain
10K followers.
to all of you locally minded folks why that is never going to happen. Because you know what? Money in the Bank contract, SummerSlam in front of 50,000 people. I'm sorry, I cash in on you. I'd do that. I would cash in on you.
Okay.
But Las Vegas, FSW Vegas in front of
50,000.
Vegas fans,
Sold out arena.
we're good.
That makes sense.
We're good.
100 people.
But I would
200 people.
Las Vegas fans, we're good.
For sure. Appreciate the honesty.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, appreciate.
Just
appreciate
so
the honesty.
just so you can know, SummerSlam, Money in
If
the
you,
Bank contract.
if you got that briefcase,
Just letting you know.
I'll watch out.
Just letting you
Money,
know.
money.
because you know
Hey,
what
money's
title I'm
money.
gonna have.
Watch out for that.
You know I'm gonna
A villain's life.
Watch out for that. You know,
Well, you know what? You guys speak a lot of loyalty, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit, right? All right, all right. But as we all know, with great factions, all right, and we can go down in history.
Embrace
All right,
responsibility.
let's just go ahead and put Lights Camera Faction at the top right now. Okay, let's just put them at the top. All right, but just like all great factions, it comes to a crossroads in time, to where one of y'all get launched through the moon, and then it all becomes to the one question I got for y'all. If it gets to that point for any one of y'all, is it the money over loyalty, or is it always going to be the loyalty over the money?
let me ask. Let me answer that
I'm
question.
just
with a
keeping
question.
it 100.
Let me answer that question with a question.
Go ahead. I'm gonna go after.
What do people get into this wrestling business for, in your mind?
Your mind to be able to achieve your dreams, to be able to get to the top from when you was a kid.
Right. Okay. And
For the titles, the esteem, the accolades.
Cool answers. Good answers. I'll take all of those. But let me really break this down to you. We get into this business to make a living, to take care of our families,
Fair enough.
and to be the very best that we can be. And the very best that we can be has been realized right here. And you know what? We have achieved more success together than any faction that was made on the indies, because all of the best factions are already made in television companies.
The companies make them.
The companies make them. We are an independent made, independent grown, self-promoted dynasty of domination industry-wide.
And that's why everybody always wants to wonder who's gonna turn on who's gonna do that, because y'all ain't never seen motherfuckers out here getting money.
You've never seen this. You've never seen this.
You ain't
You've
seen
never
it like
seen
this.
Listen.
You want to talk about getting pushed. You want to talk about somebody getting pushed to the moon, and one guy's gonna get pushed to the moon. No, we pushed ourselves.
We
We
pushed
got here
ourselves.
ourselves. We pushed ourselves. We booked ourselves over. I booked myself in the main event. Ice is the main event. I got higher ups. I got people telling me, oh yeah, I want you to just come wrestle a 6-man. Come wrestle a fatal 4-way. Come wrestle this. And I'm like, no. If it's not the main event, Ice ain't working. And these is facts, because I don't need to be here. And we all know this. All these 9-to-5ers that come here at FSW, they need this. They need this. They need the dub. They need the $20. They need the $40. Ice don't. Ice don't. Ice need the main event. Ice got the main event. Ice is the main event. The faction is the main event. The faction runs the independent scene. The faction runs professional wrestling. Talk.
We run this business. We are this business. Let me explain to you something. We got to AEW, All Elite Wrestling, the four of us together.
We was backstage scouted. We was backstage scouted. We were just backstage scouted.
We got the email at the same damn time.
We was backstage scouted.
And let me ask you something.
TK said that.
Who else do you know? Who else do you know that could do that?
TK said
Come on.
That could get called up all together as a unit, as a team, from what they did together on this scene. Not a damn person, not a damn group.
It's unprecedented.
It was us.
It's the first time.
Never been done before.
Never been done.
So let me explain to you something. We may get signed as a group.
We may not.
We may not get signed as a group. Let me guarantee you something. By the end of Lights, Camera, Faction, you'll be looking at 4 diamonds in this business. 4 undeniable, iconic characters
Come on, man.
that brought something unforgettable to the fans and to the people that need to see us. That need to see us in a light that we've never been seen in before.
Come on.
Because that's what I did this for.
Come on.
That's what this meant to me. And I got the number 1 unit around me. The number 1 group in professional wrestling. And I wouldn't be doing this with anybody else. But that doesn't mean that we won't be doing this with anybody else.
And my last point on that before you go. We haven't even reached our peak yet. What's everyone talking about?
see in the beginning.
Breakups and turns and stuff. You talking about Ice? Oh, we didn't get good until Ice got here. How long has that been, Ice? It hasn't even been that long.
I've been here a year.
A minute.
It was a year.
Just a cool minute.
Coming up on the anniversary.
We still got work to do. We're still working.
Still.
They were just in Texas this past weekend. We were in Arizona this past weekend defending our titles and then making names with Booker T.
Well, I actually got to mention something to you
goodness,
guys
y'all don't
about
even know
that.
what happened.
You guys don't even know what
What
happened.
happened?
Well, should we say it because
We're on
air
wax.
yet.
I mean,
It didn't even air.
I don't care.
Damn,
Booker T beat our ass, bro.
What?
Bruh.
Booker T jumped us, bro.
Look, turn on us.
But he brought you guys out there.
I know.
What's going on with?
I don't know. It was just
But
goons.
we needed
He
you
hired
guys.
goons?
But what?
He hired goons. He has goons.
But it's fine. We thought he was on our side, but it's all right. We'll just take over ROW as well. Just like we're going to take over this company.
Might as well.
We're going to take over ROW.
Might as
that's
well.
easy bread. Because that's the easy bread, and them boys are soft.
Wow.
Them boys are soft out there.
Put some dirt on him.
In that house.
So really quickly, you all had mentioned that a certain narrative was thrown out via the Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting.
Bad Boys of podcast and some files and like it was
Sure.
some files.
So
Some files I found
if that's the case, then
files.
everybody knows that with a narrative, there has to be some seeds of truth in there somewhere.
No, a whole lot of seeds of cap in there.
Cap seeds.
Whole lot of seeds of cap. It's
Are we
people-
sure about that?
It's a tree that's growing and it's got caps all over it.
It's a bunch of people playing fantasy booking
Yeah, that's what that is.
and talking fantasy booking.
It's a
Talking-
bunch of people seeing what they want to see because when they look at us, they still want to see Lights, Camera, Faction from the pre-show.
Right.
They want to see
Okay,
it.
They want to see.
That's what
I
y'all
can see
want to
that.
see.
Want to see
I
it.
That's
can
what y'all
see
want.
that. So as far as the narrative that you want to be displayed, what should an average person who may be unfamiliar, and I know you might be surprised that there are some people that don't know everything about you for.
Oh well, trust. I know they don't.
What
know
should
about us.
what should
on
they
now.
know?
Because if they knew about us, we'd be on TV.
Come on.
What should they know?
If they knew we'd be on TV. That's neither here nor there. You're right. I'm done shooting.
I know what they need to know. There's only one thing they need to know.
Objection! Oh!
No, that's no cap. That's no cap. That's no cap. No, I mean, an honest question, and as I answer this text message, sorry, but listen, our greatness has been acknowledged by Booker T, Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown, Savio Vega, Ron Simmons, Rikishi, Chavo Guerrero, Elijah Burke, Xavier Woods of the New Day. The list could go on and on and on.
But y'all don't know that, and we don't brag about that. And it's all right.
It could go on and on and on. I could talk to you all day. And the matter of the fact is, the point of the matter is, every person that sees Lights Camera Faction sees $1 million.
Whole lot of bread.
So what people should know about Lights Camera Faction is that we have taken over. We have written the roles that were never written for us.
Nope.
And we will take what we want anywhere we go. Because you are looking at 4 underdog stories, 4 guys that were not supposed to make it, 4 guys that nobody saw anything in, and they came together.
They don't want us here.
And they took everything for themselves.
They don't want ice in the main
We
event.
go to companies and we rob them of their championships.
That's what I
now.
That's what the boys do.
1 year as tag champs in Arizona.
We hustle every single top guy that we come across.
Congrats, boys. Congrats.
Yeah.
So
Thank
anybody that doesn't know yet is bound to find out.
Bound to.
Do not make me
Bound
repeat
to.
myself.
And to bring it back full circle to the company, we are the future stars of wrestling.
And that's what you're going to see.
what you gotta do.
That's what you're going to see on August 21st. Because when we beat Hammerstone and TBD and whoever stooge they can find, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This is a symbolic moment because you are watching the torch. A torch that so many people in this company is just holding on to. They don't want to let it go. But Lights Camera Faction is here to let them know it's okay. It's okay. You can let it go. And if you're not going to let it go, that's all right because we are going to take it. We're going to take it. Because they've had enough time. They've had their time. They've had their moments.
They've had a decade.
They've had their shots. And you were looking at 4 guys that every time they have the ball, they knock it out of the park. But that gets overshadowed and overlooked for people that have gotten opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to create any staying power, any long-term success. And Lights Camera Faction is the greatest long-term success, long-term brand, long-term everything in the history of Las Vegas. And you can't tell me a damn thing different.
You can't. Who else do you want to see on the show? Who else would you rather see on the show? Come on. I'm answering. FSW, you tune in. Who you tune in for?
Well, obviously, everyone.
I'm asking you.
Everyone tunes.
Everyone
tunes in for the guy who beat you, Ice.
You two wait.
For
You
Hammerstone.
saying everybody tunes in for Hammy?
Everyone tunes in
Everybody
for
tunes in
Hammerstone.
for Hammy? You sound like the guy. You sound like the guy in the chair.
Listen. We have mathematics to prove this. If there's anybody else that these folks would rather see, they would have bigger numbers than we do. So if you can show me somebody else other than Hammerstone or Chris Bay, I'll give those guys credit. They're stars. They're stars in their own right. But if you can name me anybody else that's on our level, I'll give it to you. But you can't. You can't. You couldn't if you tried.
I don't.
Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy. Okay, Matt Hardy. You know what I mean? Matt Hardy
did us a favor. At
Matt
FSW.
Hardy.
Don't forget that.
Oh, he's generated some numbers to his company. He created some
He did
buzz.
the scene solid.
Okay.
What?
Stopping by for a cup of coffee.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can't forget Cross. Cross. We can give that to Cross.
Out to Cross.
We'll see him. We'll see him.
What's up, Cross?
We'll see him. We'll see him.
See.
We'll see him.
And there is a guy named Chris Bay who's also
I already
beat
said
you,
him.
Ice.
I already said him. Oh, by the way, we beat him. Last year at Survival of the
Yeah,
Fittest.
beat his team.
We beat him last year. You're talking. You over here bringing up old shit.
So
We beat him.
so let me bring up some new shit. All right. So some new shit is quite simple. All right. You already carved your pathway. Makes sense. You already said what you're gonna do. In fact, you don't even need to go anymore because I obviously, along with the rest of the bad boys, we already understand. But what do you do when you have everything. You have the kingdom, right? When you got the kingdom, it's one thing to chase the titles. It's one thing to get the titles. But once you have the kingdom, everybody want a goddamn key, but you can only let in a couple people through the damn door. So the question is, again, I'm coming at you level. What is the plan?
Okay, so as the city kingpin of this entire region, when one has a kingdom, you must expand the kingdom. And you must change the system. Lights, Camera, Faction, you guys all hate us, but in truth, we're the heroes here because we're actually going to beat the system and change the system so that way when we're done terrorizing the league and going after bigger and better things, guess what? Like a volcano when it erupts and destroys the city, when it's over and done, new things will flourish. New talent will flourish.
You're welcome.
Because the old gatekeepers will be gone because we destroyed them.
Because we destroyed them.
Yup.
And that's not fact or opinion.
Boy.
It's the gospel.
That's damn right. That's damn right. So we will collect our thank yous from that locker room in due time. You know, they don't get it right now. They don't
We're gonna
understand
binge
now.
the business. We
But
got folks
eventually,
they've been killing the business for the past
you'll get it.
so and so years.
20 years.
We got folks that's been killing the business. We're here to
You'll get
avenge the business. We're here to avenge the business. And we start this Sunday at Survival of the Fittest when we yet again beat TBD and we beat Hammerstone. Faction up in the main event, of course. Main events, faction. What else? Go ahead. This your podcast. All right. You ask some questions. Ask some questions. How much
Got
time?
some questions.
Is there
Mike,
anything
Mike?
else? What y'all
How much
got?
time is there?
Come on, man.
What we on?
All right.
Come on, Matt.
We've talked FSW. You mentioned Booker T. You mentioned Texas. Let me ask you the obvious truth that I've been seeing, and that is this. How are you guys going to deal when you get to that promised land with another faction that is making waves?
There's more factions out there?
Yeah.
Who else? Who else out there?
The
Who else
guys,
out there? 'Cause I don't know.
the guys who do it for the culture, Culture Inc.
Oh, he liked them. Yeah, I think he sponsored them. I
You're
think
talking
he
about
liked
the
them.
tag team?
Yeah.
Why are you saying faction? You're talking about a tag team.
Talking about two people.
Talking about two guys that wrestle.
They got,
It's a tag
they
team.
have-
Does
they
the
have-
third guy wrestle? Yay or nay?
Does the third guy wrestle or does the third guy just commentate over here?
I'm just saying,
It's
guys.
a tag team. It's a group.
Look,
it's a tag
look,
team.
listen,
What are we talking about?
Was it not the same for, let's just say history proves itself?
We
Did
have
it not
to-
start with 3 and then you had 4? So, I mean,
Three
you never know.
wrestlers.
Okay, I get what
Three
you're
was
saying.
the faction.
Well,
Hardy
who's to
Boys
say?
were not a faction.
Okay.
Team Extreme was a faction.
Yeah, it's true.
There were 3 wrestlers.
True.
You don't
It's-
look at 2 people and call yourselves a faction.
So you guys don't look at Kaya Dream as a wrestler?
No, I was about to say they have Kaya Dream. She's a highly talented. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them wrestle. I haven't seen them wrestle together with her though.
Me neither.
They don't really do
And
that
it's
much.
fine. They're a faction. They're a faction. We can call them a faction. They have Big Duke.
They,
Oh,
they,
yeah.
They did get Big Duke and Estrella.
Yeah, Big Duke.
Oh, they got Big Duke
Yeah.
and Queen Estrella. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that happened in Versus World, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Versus
versus
World.
World.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
So,
my bad.
listen.
They're a faction.
Listen.
My bad. They're a faction.
Culture
My
Inc.
bad, my
Culture
bad.
Inc.
They-
are fantastic competition to
bad.
Lights Camera Faction.
Sure,
Every
my bad.
faction needs a great competitor. Every faction, and you know what?
They agree.
I'll tell you what. They pulled an us on us. And they cheated to beat us in Texas, right? We can't run away from that. We can be accountable. We can be accountable. They watched our tape. They took our tricks. They managed to beat us. That's okay. That's cool. But the thing is, the full power of the faction is unbeatable. We are undefeated in 4 versus 4.
Facts.
Undefeated in 4 versus 4.
We challenge any of y'all.
And we will always be undefeated in 4 versus 4 because there's not a damn team out there that could beat this team. Team versus team. It's impossible.
You can't beat Voltron.
Come on. So Culture Inc., if they wanted to challenge us 4 versus 4, if they wanted to expand their faction to be able to match up with this group, we'll meet that fight. But they're gonna meet the fate as the same other groups of 4 versus 4 that have lined up against Lights Camera Faction. It's gonna be faction up. It's going to be faction up. It's always faction up. 4 versus 4. We are the ultimate team. We made a sport out of this. We are. Can you understand? We're changing faction wrestling. We're creating a genre of wrestling. These 4v4s, we had a 4v4 at the last version of this pay-per-view.
We probably need a faction title or something.
We might need a faction championship. Might need a faction championship. That might have to happen.
We'll be the guys holding it.
And we'll be the ones holding it forever. Because we are the greatest faction in this business, the number one faction in this business. And you know what? You guys could list any other faction that you wanted to. Because Culture Inc. is great. They're on the if you listed any other faction, I mean factions on TV, we're seeing them too.
All of them.
I guess we're going to have to.
We're seeing them too.
Yep.
We ain't going to name drop y'all, but we going to see y'all.
We're seeing them too. So if you guys have any other questions, we got answers.
Gentlemen?
Well, the only thing I would like to say, and this would be my last question, all right? At the end of the day, just remember, if you made the blueprint, somebody, and it probably will be soon, it's going to come up, and they're going to try and invent a faction to take y'all out. And that's just game recognized game. If you're going to be the best,
Flattered.
you just got to be prepared for it. It is what it's the law of the streets. Am I not lying?
Do you see who we're
Is
going
it
up
not?
against? Do you see how we're preparing?
They literally
for
built
all
the
of this
front line
warfare.
against
Okay,
We've
okay,
been preparing.
okay. That's the
Faction wars. It's faction wars.
Chris Bay, Danny Limelight, Hammerstone, TBD. We're preparing for all of that right now with the top stars in wrestling, top TV stars. We're already getting these reps in right now
Reps.
to
Reps.
ensure that we don't hold any L's to anybody that's going to try to step up and be a bootleg version of the faction.
He beat Kenny King. He pinned him.
He beat Kenny King!
I beat Kenny King.
True that.
Don't forget.
Kenny!
True that?
1, 2, 3.
He pinned Kenny!
True that?
He pinned Kenny!
Yeah. Yeah.
The greatest movie you've ever seen from Wakanda Studios. He is Watson, Fresco Matic, Ice Williams, and Action Braxton, August 21st, are going to change Las Vegas once again when we make them pass the torch to us.
I'm taking it. Taking it. I'm waiting.
Well, I'll be looking forward to it. I rest my
I'm
case.
done waiting. I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting. I'm
Yeah,
taking
okay.
it.
Yeah, he did have some good
I'm
questions.
done with
He
it.
had
Good
some
job,
questions.
Street. Good job.
He had some
Done
good
waiting.
questions.
I'm
You don't-
taking
you don't
it.
did
know,
good.
and boys, these guys, he was cool. They was kind of disrespectful. I'm heading out. I think let's bounce. That's on everything. We got to get this faction training or something.
Yeah, it is about that time.
We
anyway.
got to get this bread.
I got a phone call to
We got to
make.
go get that real bread.
I actually got to talk to you about this phone call I just had.
We got to get this real bread.
Yo, what's going on? Booker T jumped you guys?
Yeah, bro. You gotta get this real bread. Let's get out of here. We gotta get this real bread. We gotta get this real bread. We gotta get this real bread. Let's go get this real bread.
These mics were cool, man.
Let's go get this real. It wasn't no Fresco show experience. It's Vegas Bad Boys.
You know,
Vegas
hey,
Bad
I'll give you
Boys.
some
Oh
pointers.
my goodness.
Yeah, put them on. Hey, there you go.
Hello. Oh, we gotta go. Oh, we gotta. Y'all wrap this up. Get Vegas Bad Boys
I'm sure it's
style.
gonna be a breakout episode as far as viewers.
Vegas
and
Bad
everything
Boy
like
style.
that. So, you know, we'll
Wrap
check
it up,
the
Vegas
mail.
Bad Boy
Thanks so
style.
much.
And for the folks at home, let me leave you with this message. Let me leave you with this message for future's sake. All right. We out! Faction out!
Well, there you have it, everyone. August 21st at the Silver Nugget, 5 p.m. Pacific time. You can catch it on pay-per-view on Fight TV. And it's going to be one hell of a match when the faction takes on Hammerstone and TBD, Hero Lou, and Shogun, and a mystery opponent. And we'll see if all that verbato, all that confidence actually gets them a win? Or will they still remain just the faction?
Talk's talk. You got to back it up.
But they did say they was gonna grab them torch for them boys, though.
Hey,
So I mean, you know, at the end of the
hey,
day, you got to build a kingdom with something.
Once they do it, then I'll be a believer. But they sat here and they just made excuse after excuse for why they were getting passed over, or why opportunities were being taken away from them.
Gentlemen, for the sake of FSW, I hope they do not get a hold of those torches because they will burn the place to the ground. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to the Vegas Bad Boys.